Welcome to episode 65 of Rebels Without a Pod, the show that dares ask the question, and just what would the note say, Dan? Cat dead, podcast later? Joining me tonight, Andy, who does our artwork and graphic design.
Hey, everybody.
Naveen on music and audio production.
Hello there.
And someone just rang my doorbell. We're stopping the recording. Hold on. That's something for you. What?
Oh, you're recording now. Oh, I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay, so we're leaving in the doorbell. You don't even want me to run like the intro again.
I think we do the whole thing all over again.
Yeah, start again.
Okay.
But send me both parts.
I just want to make sure that I'm coming through clearly. Make sure I'm coming through clearly because I'm not using any kind of like headphones, nothing.
Right.
You got
Make
sound
sure that the
okay.
recording's
No
actually
microphone?
capturing me.
Yeah. You sound perfectly fine.
Are you using the microphone still, or no
Something to
microphone?
do with my voice. Do I sound weird?
No.
Do I amuse you?
Hmm?
Do I amuse you? Do I make you laugh like a clown?
Sometimes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
It's recording time.
So I feel my reanimator intro it hit, but it hit like at a 4. I was hoping for like a 6 or 7. I don't have the Jeffrey Combs delivery. Not even trying to like live up to that. So what should I do when I reread the intro?
I don't know. Andy, can you just do a review on Letterboxd of John's intro?
I'm going to give it 2.5 stars.
Oh, okay. So same as Happy Gilmore 2.
Same as Happy Gilmore 2.
All right. Well,
all in all, not a terrible score.
Okay. At least as good as Buster Keaton's best movie.
That's better than Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Welcome to episode 65 of Rebels Without a Pod, show that dares ask the question, what the hell will this intro sound like after the edit? Joining me tonight, Andy, who does our artwork and graphic design.
Ding dong.
Oh damn! I was gonna do the same thing.
God damn it! Naveen on music and audio production.
Stunt cock.
Thank God I'm ending on the series. Okay. And do I even want to do the pod daddy joke here? You can tell by the smile on Eric's face. I'm just going to be and my good friend Eric, who's clearly not going to disrupt anything any further.
It's recording time.
I hate you. All of our content is currently up on the Rebels Without a Pod YouTube channel. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Gentlemen, last weekend, and of course this happened with fucking Rad, but we passed 2 different pretty big milestones with the channel. We got the number of kind of long form videos and shorts that we have up. We got over 100. I think there's 103 kind of up there currently that are public, with like another half dozen kind of waiting to be released over the weekend. And collectively, our show passed over 7,000 views. So pretty good.
Woot woot.
Nice.
You can take those numbers, ass sliding.
I think it's because of Rad, not in spite of Rad.
I think a lot of people watched it like you did as a kid, and they're like, I don't know if this is going to hold up. And you were like, it's okay. But everybody else listening were like, it's fucking awesome movie still.
Yeah, man. So many bikes.
It's the dance scene.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I hate to put a damper on things, but I think it's because of Opportunity Knocks.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
It could always be worse.
That
Opportunity Knocks short. One of our first, you did like the most recent short that we've had to go triple digits. So there is no sense or justice in the universe.
It's that same thing where you tell somebody something so shitty and awful you shouldn't watch it, and they're like, you know what? I'm going to challenge that.
right.
It's it's telling somebody, oh, don't smell that.
I'm not sure I've ever been in that situation. That thing over there, yeah, just don't smell that.
Right. Then you've lived a better life than I have, my friend. Before moving on to our next movie cycle, top of the queue, we thought it would be fun to do one more summer movie episode, a review of Fantastic Four: First Steps. For some reason, after an almost uncountable number of iterations, we've landed on calling this episode Fourdastic for Støps. This is the show that we have tonight, folks.
Four takes.
That is such an incredibly dumb joke, and I can't believe it's gone this far.
Right. Andy literally had to redo the artwork for the episode because I added what's called I guess in Scandinavian writing, a strike-o. Just like an O that has like the little slash to it. It's not called anything but just a strike-o. So I added that to the episode notes. Andy had to go back in and redo the episode artwork. Andy added a umlaut into the episode artwork, and after I saw the umlaut in the artwork, I had to go back and kind of redo the episode notes.
I just decided that the first O was lonely.
So do we read it as Fourdastic pan or Fourdastic pan?
There's no umlaut over the.
You're right. Okay.
I think kind of whatever you do, as long as each pronunciation you get closer and closer to sounding like the Swedish chef. Then it's on the right.
Fourdastic porn. Meat. Meat.
I think I still have that somewhere.
It's Mercury time. But first.
It's a fire! It's a fire! He's on fire.
Oh my goodness. Before kind of getting into like Fantastic Four, though, gentlemen, do you guys want to say anything like additional sort of about like the summer movie season? I think, for my money, we had two real miracles. One was Superman movie, which kind of just everybody just loved and was like a real surprise. And then Andy and Eric, you guys have not actually made it to weapons yet, right?
No.
Nope.
Okay. Naveen and I were fortunate enough to be able to kind of spend like a little time together in Vegas last weekend, and we took in a screening of Weapons on Saturday night. Recorded about. It was supposed to be like a 20-minute pod. I think we talked for like an hour and 25 minutes. Like the whole thing. We just ended up recounting like the entire movie, almost sort of like kind of like beat by beat. Like we got out of this thing, and Naveen was just grinning ear to ear the entire time. We don't want to spoil, I think, too much about the movie, but
we don't want to spoil anything. We just spoiled everything for like an hour and 20 minutes.
Right.
We haven't released it, so we haven't quite spoiled it yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right.
So people in the audience, our listener, comment. Should Eric and Andy watch Weapons?
Right. So it's no question for Eric. Like the big argument, the big controversy is whether he's going to be able to drag Andy's ass to it, and whether or not he's going to be able to kind of film Andy at like the right time of where they told him to kind of get his reaction like mid movie.
I don't think we were supposed to tell him that I was going to film him. I think I was supposed to do that secretly.
I'm just not going to know when it's supposed to happen.
Right.
That's all.
By the time it gets that point, it's not going to matter one way or the other.
When you go to like take a piss in the middle of the film, and I follow you to the bathroom, and then you're like, you turn around, you're like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, surprise, motherfucker, I'm filming you.
This is the part.
This is the part. Johnny, I got it.
It wasn't film Andy during the movie. It's just like incognito, try to snap his hog.
You didn't wash your hands. Oh my God, it's disgusting. And eat the popcorn again.
You're going to need a bigger lens.
Gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
But other than kind of those two, what you guys sort of feel about like kind of like the summer film season, like in general? Any other kind of fun things or surprises sort of jump out to you at all?
I didn't see much, honestly. I mean, obviously, I watched all the things that we collectively watched. But as far as like going to movies outside of that, I'm trying to think if I saw anything that we haven't actually covered on this pod. I don't think so. What else came out this summer? Were there any other big blockbusters that came out?
Fantastic Four and Superman were kind of like the two big ones in July. There's been kind of like a lot of kind of small scale horror, like on the front and the back. Naveen and his wife went to Together about like a month or so ago, and sort of mixed response. But
yeah, we went to another movie as well, but I'm blanking on it. I'll have to look.
When did the live, quote unquote, live action Lilo and Stitch come out? Because I did see that.
that would have been about June. I was in the theater opening night for to see something different, but just kind of going through the crowd. The number of 5-year-olds in Hawaiian shirts, I just saw hula dancing as I was walking. Just again, and also grown women in just full on kind of Stitch pajamas.
Wow,
it was a scene. It was an interesting.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, other than that, I don't think I saw anything really.
Papa, how about yourself?
I was trying to think about it. I mean, I saw Fantastic Four twice. Saw Superman once. Saw that we talked about it before. Elio.
Oh yeah. Like the new Pixar
film. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I forget what else I've seen though. I haven't seen. I've missed out on some good horror. I admit it. I haven't seen Sinners yet. I haven't seen Weapons. It's been a busy summer.
Right. So one one of the bigger movie news things, kind of outside of what's been playing in the cinemas, but like a lot of people are talking about the sort of like arguably maybe the biggest film hit of the summer, which is K-pop Demon Hunters on Netflix. I went to the Toxic Avenger reboot last night. I was standing in line to kind of get a drink at like the concession stand first, and these two pretty drunk middle-aged Nevada women were really, really excitedly talking with the bartender about K-pop Demon Hunters, and one of them actually full-on broke into singing Soda Pop at one point during the conversation. So it's kind of just, I don't know.
It's been going on in my house like almost every day.
Really?
I thought it was legitimately good.
Yeah.
What did Andy? What was Anna's kind of reaction to it? You said that she enjoyed it, but was she over the moon? Has she been talking about it since then?
Anna doesn't get over the moon about much of anything. She's a pretty kind of even-keeled young lady. So I would say as far as she goes, it was probably a 7.5 out of 10.
Interesting.
Something like that, which is pretty high praise for her.
Eric, how about your?
She didn't stare at her phone the entire time the movie was on.
She actually locked in for like a little bit and stuff was happening.
So Ray keeps he did this with the Minecraft movie where he played it over and over and over again. That thing you do when you're like 8 or 9 years old, you just keep watching the same thing over a bunch. And for this one, it came late. He watched it with his cousins when we took a trip to the Cape a few weeks back, and it just, I think with it just being everywhere now, he was just like, I'm gonna go rewatch that, and then he just watched it like a dozen more times.
Really?
And I'll constantly hear him singing like Soda Pop or Idol. I like the song at the very end. This is what it sounds like. The song that they couldn't write, and then they just kind of once they reveal
the one that got everybody to come together instead of Golden, right?
Yeah. So that was the one that moved me. I like that song, but yeah, I keep hearing Soda Pop a lot. I think it's funny is that my son now thinks that he can sing in Korean as well. They have a sing along that you can do on Netflix, and they give you all the lyrics at the bottom. But it's like they'll have 3 verses of Korean, and then they'll jump back into English, and then it flip flops between Korean and English. So he just kind of keeps going with whatever sounds best.
It's kind of like those earlier kind of Chili Peppers songs where like Anthony Kiedis just sings 4 bars of nonsense before kind of getting back to Netflix very begrudgingly put that sing-along version of the movie in theaters for about, I think, either 2 nights or 3 nights, like this past weekend. And it became immediately like the #1 movie in America. Made about $18 million in 3 days.
Wow. That's what I was thinking. They had the Eras tour with Taylor Swift. Like, why not do something like this? Because I mean, it's hitting so hard right now. It's I think they just announced recently top most movie ever watched. On,
it will be, if it's not already, like the biggest thing ever watched on streaming.
Yeah. Have they already announced a sequel or not yet?
Yeah, they have 2 more planned.
Right.
Of course.
These things are, I mean, they are just going to go and go and go with like this movie.
Yeah.
I get it. All I said is after I watched the movie, I'm like, they'll be good as long as they don't go the Frozen 2 route, which is like, let's make something completely different and just not as catchy songs and more complicated. So kids just can't really, gravitate towards the story and the characters and stuff.
Well, I think that kind of fundamentally is like what, like, just sort of like listening to this kind of podcasts and sort of kind of writers and more kind of professional critics talk about it. There's 2 kind of remarkable things about that movie. And the first is like every non-song part of it is just 20% better than it should be. Better looking, funnier, more colorful, more charming, more full of character. And like this is, I think, even like the more remarkable thing about it. One of the most difficult things for kind of film songwriting supposedly is that when you write a song that in the world, in the story of the movie is supposed to be this incredible, super catchy, kind of top of the charts thing that everybody loses their mind over, creating a song for a film that's actually that good is nearly like impossible. Miracle of what K-pop Demon Hunters did is it didn't write just one of those songs, it's written about 5 of those songs. That's
what I was saying too. I'm like like I said to Ram, like the Saja Boys only did 2 songs in the entire film,
right?
And both of them fucking
banging.
hit.
Both,
they both hit so hard. It's like
I was texting with our mutual friend Chris, who has a 5-year-old daughter right now. I don't think that he'd mind me sharing this, but we've been we've been talking a bit. I had asked if his kid had gotten into the movie at all, and he told me Huntrix, the band from K-pop Demon Hunters, it is all that she talks about. The songs are all that she wants to listen to, and she's probably drawn about 80 different pictures of like the girls from the band. Here's a couple photos of the 2 pictures of the band that she just drew today. And I text Chris back. I'm like, wow, she must really love that movie. And he goes, she hasn't seen the movie yet.
What?
I guess it's this thing is so big, so prevalent among young people at this point. It's something that younger kids are just picking up by osmosis without having any exposure to the actual source material, which is just
that's incredible.
Yeah,
that is incredible. Although it's like that thing that like your parents are like, no, you can't watch this. You're too young, and then you just obsess over it.
Right. I told him as soon as you decide whether or not she's old enough to watch it, and she actually does. I told Chris, let me know if she gets more weird and obsessed, or she's just like, oh, that's all this is, whatever. Because it's going to be like one or the other, right?
This is Chris's daughter, so I'm assuming she probably woke up in the middle of the night and went down and watched it.
Or just never went to sleep.
Yeah.
She woke up at 2:17 in the morning, went running into the arm with her arms out, then came right back in the house and turned on Netflix. Yeah, to be an absolute fair point. Okay, but why don't we kind of get into the movie of the evening? Fantastic Four: First Steps is a 2025 Marvel Cinematic Universe film based on the original creation of Stan Lee all the way back. This is a superhero team that he wrote in 1961. Synopsis in brief. All 4 of us agreed to do one, but here's mine. Synopsis in brief. This is what happens when you marry some nerd.
All right.
Nerd life.
Just you're with the hottest woman, most sophisticated woman on earth, and you're just doing equations. Just what does middle age become?
So I'm not going to explain mine. I want to see number one if any of you guys get it, and then I'm just going to leave it up to the audience. Synopsis in brief: The Thing. Is his dork made out of orange rock like the rest of his body?
You say that like we're all not your exact age.
I'm just saying, not everybody's going to get it.
Shout out 1980 babies. We were there.
Whew.
Right time.
All right, let me go. Synopsis in brief. Look on May. Uncle Ben's still alive.
Aw.
What?
Aw.
I kept it in the Marvel.
All right.
It's in the Marvel.
Nice.
Technically, Uncle Ben is still alive.
I wrote, by the way, 3 of them, and 2 were filthy. So this
Okay.
was the least filthy one. Every one I kept coming up with was just like dirty.
Do the filthy 2. Do the filthy 2.
Yeah. Why'd you turn on the filters?
Yeah.
Hey, why is there a mosaic over my mouth?
Mhm.
Since when?
Yeah.
Do
Here's
you remember the cunny that we just posted on the channel?
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Okay.
It's filthy.
Alligator.
There's a warning. There's a warning for a reason.
Yes, there is.
All right, here's my second one.
Nobody listen to cunny number 9. Go.
Too late.
Ben, I want to thank you for stepping in up there. You know, when Sue was having that baby and all, you know, back when we were up in space.
Hmm.
Don't worry about it, Reed. Nothing I haven't seen before.
That's not so bad.
No. The next one's better.
I'm going to give it some garlic. Just give it a little zip.
Yeah. A little bit. Oh, there's a ringer. Let's see. Wow, Johnny, even your dick is on fire. Happy birthday, beautiful.
Funny how we both went for dick jokes.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Mhm. It's almost like dick jokes about The Thing were a formative cinematic experience for us when we were like 17.
Yeah. Yep.
What could it possibly be? Naveen, what do you got?
All right, I'll give it a shot. I probably shouldn't have gone last as usual,
Hmm.
but there you go. Synopsis in brief. I want to eat your baby. The other white meat.
No, that was good.
Uh,
Yep, I'm making the call for the rest of us. Well done.
yeah. That's comedy when it's right there in front, and then just like the one person sees it.
Yep, we all
Yeah.
missed it. Well done, sir.
Mhm. I remember when Eric and I were on the first texting about the movie, when like you know the trailer dropped and like the big reveal was that this film being kind of set like in an alternate universe, and it being a lady Silver Surfer in this
Mhm.
one. And Eric texted me something like blah 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 woke mob make America great. Something like he wasn't too
That's
happy.
exactly.
But
I'm
what I
wearing a
told
John
him, I'm
Deere
like,
hat,
wait,
so
there's going to be a reveal that Galactus is also going to be a chick. Her name is going to be Galactate, and she's going to land on Earth, and she's going to have like these giant purple steampunk jugs.
let me eat your planet so I can nourish you.
Circle of life.
Oh, Galactate, you've
Uh-huh.
got the best. Just
Right. Well, no, that she also came to Earth for Franklin. It's like it's a Scarlet Witch sort of situation. It's just being a mom can make you a little bit crazy.
it's true. She's like, I've got all this milk, and I just need a baby to like eat all my milk.
Drown in it.
Yeah.
Right? I know. Oceans of milk for baby.
What can we tell you about the movie? The film was directed by Matt Shakman, best known for his work on the Disney Plus Marvel show WandaVision. Stars
I didn't
Pedro
know that.
Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Ahmed Moss Bachrach, and Joseph Quinn as the main team, alongside Julia Garner, Paul Walter Hauser, and Ralph Ineson as the sort of villains. Set on Earth 828 in a retro-futuristic 1960s, the film follows the efforts of the Fantastic Four to defend the planet from cosmic space god Galactus following the birth of Reed and Sue's freakish god baby Franklin. The film was rated moderately well by critics who cited some strong performances and a stylish new aesthetic for the MCU, but was considered a disappointment commercially. Its box office dropping a drastic full 80% in its second weekend of release. So, obviously, like, I think there's kind of no question that out of like the two sort of big tentpole superhero films that sort of came out over the summer, this was the lesser of the pair. But let's do general impressions first, and I kind of want to start with like the more kind of non-comic booky guys. Naveen or Andy, you want to go first on this?
Go ahead, Naveen. I'm looking something up.
Okay, yeah, sure.
He's looking up Galactus big jugs.
Yeah, I know.
You know that exists.
It is
by the
out
way.
there, my friend.
It's 100% out there.
All right. Yeah. To quote Eric, who quoted myself.
Oh.
Yeah. It's interesting.
I knew it. As soon as I said it, I was like, let's see if this comes back around.
Yeah. I had to do it for you. I like this movie. Compared to a lot of the Marvel stuff that's been coming out, this was kind of a relief. A lot of it has not been good. I did like WandaVision, so it's kind of interesting that the director did WandaVision in this. So this was good, and again, I liked it. You had mentioned the retro futuristic look of it was really neat. We talked about
the movie literally starts on the Ed Sullivan show.
Right.
Yeah.
But we talked about it a little bit with Superman, how they didn't do another origin story. And it kind of seemed that way with Fantastic Four. I mean, they did do it briefly, just like cut to the chase and just
here's a little montage because you've never seen these
right
before, but yeah.
So it wasn't the whole movie, which was really nice. And then also, I think the idea of it coming off of the other recent, I'm forgetting his name, Miles Teller. Is that his name? The actor?
Yeah.
Is it Ben Teller who did the
Penn Teller?
No,
Miles Teller was
it's Miles Teller. Teller.
Are you talking about the really terrible Josh Trank movie that came out about 5 or 10 years ago?
Fantastic Four one, with Miles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
After
Miles Teller, Kate Mara, Jamie Bell, and Michael B. Jordan for some goddamn reason. Yeah.
Yeah. So
a film that really, we can get into the prior Fantastic Four adaptations, sort of like leading up to this one, but like the most recent effort by like the Fox Studios, kind of worth noting. This is the first time a proper live action MCU Fantastic Four film has been kind of done in like the mainline MCU, but like the most recent Fox one famously just a real piece of garbage.
Yeah. So I think that helped make it better, So I liked it. And it was fun. It had its funny moments, but it also had its, climactic moments that made it climactic in ways and things. So I think it worked as general impressions there. We'll probably get into more details as we go along.
Yeah. Andy, how about yourself?
So Johnny, did you mention what it's grossed thus far? Did you give that number?
I can look it off the dome.
I don't think you did.
400 million and change.
Yeah, so I have it. So the budget was 200 million roughly. It says that they needed to earn between 400 and 500 million to cover costs. So that's inclusive of
marketing and
everything. Thus far, they've grossed approximately $492.4 million worldwide. So
thinking about something you make earning $500 million and you're still barely breaking even.
Yeah, I mean, so right now it's questionable whether they've broken even. Obviously, in the long run, they will profit on this because you're going to have rentals and you're going to have whatever else.
1 million people are going to watch it on the back of an airplane seat.
Yeah,
exactly. So they'll make money on it.
The back of someone else's airplane seat.
Someone else's airplane seat.
Yeah.
That's right. But it's crazy to me to think that we're in a point where people are spending, like you said, $500 million roughly to make a movie. And they're struggling to to get that money back. And these movies are, I mean, we are saying that this movie was good.
Yeah.
I don't think none of us are going to say that this movie was great.
That's not what I said. I said it was fantastic.
Oh,
I stand by my judgment.
So, all right, then I'm going to say, speaking for myself, I'm going to say, visually it was awesome. I really enjoyed the aesthetic of the movie. I would say 2 of the 4 main cast members were great. The other 2 were fine. It was super fun to watch, but I think the villains were underdeveloped. I think, and we'll get into this in a little bit. Not only were they underdeveloped, but I think they could have gone in a different direction. Anyway, we'll cover that. But
on the next round of questions, let's all start by kind of giving our performance rankings. I think they'll be interesting to kind of see.
Okay.
Where people
but I'd say overall, I think it's the best of the recent Marvel, both MCU and Marvel TV. I don't know if they're both considered MCU or not, but
kind of yes at this point. But
yeah,
100%.
So I would say it's the best of those, best of the recent stuff. And when I say recent, I'd say going back to maybe like to Deadpool and Wolverine. It's probably, in my opinion, the best thing since then.
Sure.
But I haven't seen a lot of the stuff since then. Like I went through a list of the most recent releases in no particular order. I haven't seen Thunderbolts. I haven't seen Captain America, Sam Wilson. I haven't seen
Captain America, Red Hulk mustache.
Right.
Yeah.
I have seen Secret Invasion, Echo, Agatha All Along, Daredevil Born Again, Ironheart, Eyes of Wakanda. I haven't seen any of those.
Yeah.
And I used to be a major Marvel movie fanboy. I saw everything, and I watched all the shows.
There was a point where it was cool and it made sense to be a completionist with this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't keep up anymore. Like, I don't care enough to basically devote my life to making sure I see everything.
Right.
I don't know.
And
I felt like they got desperate almost, where they're like, let's just throw everything at the wall all at once and see what sticks and see what the fans like, and then just lean in that direction.
Yeah.
But I don't think, I mean, for the TV stuff, I felt like the TV stuff was a little stronger than the movies. And again, they cost less to make that kind of stuff.
Right.
Some of the original TV stuff was great.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Some of it was really good, but like, I don't care.
It's kind of 1 out of 3 for the TV.
It was good.
The latest Daredevil was actually like a lot of fun. Eric and I know we both watched
I
it.
haven't seen it, but I gotta watch it. The Agatha All Along. I watched some of it. You said no.
It's kind of just there. It's not like offensively bad, but it's kind of hard to see what like the it's
Aubrey Plaza in it.
Mm-hmm. It's no K-pop Demon Hunters.
That's true.
Yeah.
But like,
that is it's a story about a deaf Native American woman missing a leg who's a martial artist, and I think she has hearing powers, and she used to be an enforcer for Kingpin, but she turned on the Kingpin in the Hawkeye show, and then the Echo show is about her going back to her native to her Native American reservation, reconnecting with her family, and then the Kingpin comes to the reservation, hunts her down, and she defeats Kingpin with the power of ghosts.
Right.
Nice. I was bored as hell. You explained all that till you mentioned the ghosts. So now I feel like if I watch the very last episode, I'll be like, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
No.
That
What
was
about Captain Marvel? I loved Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel was great, and I thought Miss Marvel.
Sorry, Miss Marvel, the TV show. Yeah.
Kamala.
Miss Marvel was awesome.
Kamala the fan.
Kamala.
I think that was great.
Big Kamala fan.
Well, too soon.
Uh,
Not since that Guar concert. Let's pivot to like the nerd side of the room for kind of general impressions. Papa, how you sitting with it?
I saw it twice. I'll say this: seeing it just the normal way, it is fine. Seeing it 3D is epic. It adds a whole new like layer to it, especially the scenes where Fantastic Four go on the ship They go meet with Galactus, and they enter Galactus's lair, and it just shows giant fucking Galactus in the background. And tiny little
size and scope of God, just the eyes coming out of the darkness.
It's insane. It's pretty cool to watch it. Not the whole thing, but any scene with Galactus just makes you feel like small compared to just how giant he appears. He just pops in it. It's pretty good. The movie overall I thought was pretty good. I really liked it. I don't know what I would have added to make it better, but I mean, I think the whole aesthetic of it having it take place in the 60s, I love the way they explain the origin story, how it's just like some talk show, and they're like, the team that everybody loves,
right?
Because it's like these are
and here's like a 60s CBS montage that they're kind of running.
Yeah, and I love how they show them, and they're putting on their suits and everything, and they're ready to go up in space, and they're playing the audio in the background where shit hits. And they're all changing.
The montage, they're fighting like this giant subterranean creature and it's literally a recreation of like the cover of like the first issue ever, Fantastic Four. Yeah.
Yes. I also love the callback. Was it throwback to all the villains? These are, by the way, all the villains that they call out in the first like 10 minutes of the movie are from like the I don't know, maybe like the first 30 issues of the comic.
Way back in the day, like the
Red Ghost and the Great Apes that's a fantastic comic, because in that issue, that's the one where they introduce the Watcher. They have like the blue part of the moon, like this whole thing that gets, and that this is stuff that appears in all the different Marvel comics. So it's really cool stuff that they introduced so early on. But in this, it's just call outs to like, we got Red Ghost, and we got the Moleman, and we got, the Puppeteer, and you're like, fans of the comic just know and love these characters already. So it's kind of a cool thing that they do there. I do like how Johnny's not the playboy as much.
He
played up in the original run.
It's a great decision that they make all four of them astronauts, that they make all four of them
they're
highly
all
intelligent, educated, capable people, because that's not consistent with like every adaptation. It's usually just this version of this reads the smart one, and then Johnny's like the teenage sort of kind of hothead and playboy, and Thing is the big galoot, and Sue is whatever, like the worst sort of version, like female version, like those comic characters are.
And that's what I thought was cool. I sat there and I thought about for a second when like Johnny was trying to interpret like Shalaball's language. He's just like, what is she saying? And he's trying to piece it all together. And I'm like, dude, Johnny doesn't know what the hell is going on here. And then I'm like, oh no, wait, no, he's actually like smart. Like he can actually figure this out. But he has a slightly, goofy, naive side to him too. So they kind of leave that in there because he's the younger brother. But I thought kind of the roles they were given, the actors performed them as expected. I don't know if those would be the exact actors I would have chosen to fill in those roles, but I just loved how they portrayed the Thing, how they did Johnny Storm.
Let's get into like the ranking, like the next round of this. But
I thought it was pretty good, and I love the fact that it was just like a self-contained story about like Galactus, and they don't go too much into like the MCU. Like it's completely cut off from the rest of the MCU. So I'm like, that's good. They get their own separate movie, like all these other Marvel movies.
Yeah. For me, I also sat for it twice. I think, kind of underwhelmed the first time, and I didn't completely have it square in my head. Why did I not enjoy that? Why didn't I not have like a great time with that? And it took another sitting for me to kind of sort things out a bit more and say, oh, I personally thought the first half of the movie is great. It's fun, colorful, funny, sharp, has lots of great ideas, really kind of fun characterizations of the characters. And then the second half of the movie, midpoint of the film, they get back to Earth. Midpoint of the movie, you always got to do something to kind of crazy raise the stakes. And something about the second half of the movie to me felt rushed, chopped up, kind of dour, and big chunks of it didn't just make a ton of sense. Literally starting with Reed getting off the spaceship, people ask, how did that go? And he's like, yeah, there's a big space god out there who says we need to give him our baby, or he's going to kill everybody. Craziest thing, right? And you're just watching, going like, this stupid motherfucker. What is he?
I'm shocked that he revealed that. I was like, look, it's not like they just escaped from Galactus and Silver Surfer, and they're like, oh my god, I don't have time to think about what I'm gonna say.
Right.
They're like, we don't have a prepared speech. I'm like, you've been up there for a fucking month. What were you doing? It's like the things like being an uncle.
Right.
Chill out, man.
I don't know. It's for me, the Marvel. I saw Fantastic Four twice. I've sat for Superman 3 times, and honestly enjoyed it more and been more impressed each time that I watched the film. The remarkable thing about Superman, we talked about at length on our own episode about it, but just Gunn said, we had the whole story figured out. We had everything plotted. We had all the characters figured out. We had all the little bits in the corner colored in. You watch Superman, and it's a fully loved, realized, kind of fleshed out world. Naveen on his visit last weekend, we were hiking, and I randomly brought up for like no reason. I'm like, you remember in Superman how all these hot women want to fuck Jimmy Olsen, and he's just kind of bored and confused by it. How fucking funny that was. Superman to me set such a high bar for when these things are kind of done with kind of patience and consideration, it can be like the most fun that one you ever have. The thing that sort of bums me out about latest Fantastic Four, and specifically how it just kind of feels kind of chopped up and jumbled the way a lot of other MCU stuff has over like last few years. It feels like there's corporate fingerprints. There's tinkering from the studio executives. There's kind of too many cooks in the kitchen. There's market testing, or there's just kind of dummies coming in and be like, oh no, we should do this thing, and that there's courses and paths sort of being changed. And it to me, it sort of feels it didn't quite land for me like the same way, because I'm like, it was good. The parts of it that were good could sometimes be really, really great, but it just kind of wasn't consistent like the entire way through.
I felt so adding to that as well. I do want to say I felt like the movie was maybe missing some of the charm that other MCU films have. I say this because we're going to probably talk about this in a minute, but I saw Quantumania recently, and I compared that.
First time seeing it?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when I watched that, after thinking about this film, it made me think again of like any of the Iron Man movies or the Avengers movies, and just the way the characters talk. Right. And they all have these like, big personalities and lots of jokes. And it's just, there are moments when you're goofing around and, people are kind of like joking it up, and moments when it's like, okay, it's serious. We got to lock in. We got to go, kick the shit out of Galactus or not.
But
Galactus,
it's fun. It's quippy.
Like
it's comic book speech bubbles. For like the
this one felt like, and here's the tough thing too. When you read the comic, it has that kind of, it feels a little dry because it is old material. But Stanley does add personality to each of the characters.
Yes.
Especially the Thing. And that was one thing that I was like missing. I was like, not enough Thing. Like Thing's not getting pissed off enough that he's like beating the shit out of Johnny.
Right.
But I
Eben could absolutely play in a fucking heartbeat if he wants.
Yeah, it's a hard one when you're introducing something that's from like the 60s to like a modern audience, but you want to keep like the 60s kind of feel to it.
I mean, there's literally to varying degrees been 4 failed efforts to like just adapt this property kind of prior to this one. The first one was kind of like the Roger Corman produced Fantastic Four was so bad it was never actually like officially released anywhere.
Yeah. So think about that. Think about what came before this. Compared to the other versions of Fantastic Four, I thought this one was a pretty solid.
Like leaps and bounds ahead. There's no more. Yeah. So let's kind of go around the horn again, starting with Aveen. But can we talk a little bit for just for the two of you? Let's start with your kind of rankings of the character, like how good you thought the kind of performances were. And also, did this movie kind of get you interested in sort of reading or seeing kind of other stories about them?
Rankings.
Right.
Yeah. You didn't really enjoy the thing, but I enjoyed the thing. I thought he was just fun because he was the guy of reason, I guess, the guy of just calming in this and trying to keep everything together. So I thought he was the rock of the family, so to speak. You know, you kind of had the whole family thing between Reed and Storm, Mrs. Storm. I'm forgetting the first name. Sue. And then, you know, you had Johnny doing his kind of thing, trying to figure out the language, you know, so he was kind of like keeping together. And, you know, he's also really interested in the cooking, you know, trying to make sure the food was ready for everybody.
I mean, that's a pretty naked sort of call out to anybody who's a fan of the bear at all. I mean, like they literally led like a trail.
Do they say the zing in the bear?
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the zip.
The zip.
Oh, I didn't get past season 1. Sorry, guys.
That's fair.
So yeah, I enjoyed it, and it's got to be a hard thing considering that you're just acting as yourself, probably in some kind. Well, we saw it in I believe that Herbie short you showed where he's wearing this black costume and you know, trying to interact as if he's
that has to be the stupidest thing to have to act in.
Yeah. So I like the thing very much so. I know we Johnny and I had listened to a little bit of the Midnight Boys and their episode of Fantastic Four, but I had the same feeling with the casting of Pedro Pascal in general. And I was shocked knowing that he was in it, but seeing the performance, I thought he did pretty well. And they didn't, as you know, the Midnight Boys also said, they didn't just focus on him because he's the biggest actor out of all of them, which was nice. And I think he kind of played that part pretty well, especially the scene that Johnny likes to mention all the time. You know,
we'll get to it.
Yeah,
get to it.
So we'll get to it. So I won't say it now. Then I was about to, but
Naveen, could I? This is getting into Vigo's toes a little bit early, but could I drop something fucking brain crushing on you right now? Guess what movie Pedro Pascal dropped out of to film Fantastic Four? Fucking Weapons.
Weapons? You were going to say Weapons. I thought.
No kidding.
He was going to be the Josh Brolin character.
Brolin
is better in the movie.
Thanos took over.
Yeah.
Brolin does it. He's got more of the gruff than of Pedro Pascal does. Yeah. So
happy accident.
Did he bring out the Infinity Gauntlet? He's like, don't fucking do this, kids. You don't want to do this.
It was in the form of a.
He just fucked the Scarlet Witch and found out later she was his daughter. Multiverse.
Multiverse.
That's a reference only for the pure sickos out there. Andy, cast rankings. What do you think?
Do I get to finish mine or you?
Did you have? Sorry.
What do you got left?
Yeah.
I got Sue and Johnny left, right? Because I did thing.
You said thing.
Is thing your number 2?
Reed.
I think it's number 1.
Number 1, yeah.
Just remember that the thing threatened kids with a car.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it was a PW bug. Like I grew up riding around. The kids would have been fine.
That's a New York thing, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. You guys are, you know.
It wasn't a real threat. You know, he was joking.
Well,
okay.
It helped him get closer to the teacher.
Right.
The teacher had a thing for him. He had a thing for the teacher. It's like he's hot for teacher. It's all right.
Teacher.
Yeah.
Trying to like spend a little time with Natasha Lyonne. He's put on like that great sweater vest combo.
Yeah. Very nice. Toss up for the last 2, but I think I'm gonna go Joseph Quinn for Johnny, and then Kirby for Sue there as ranking.
Sue at the bottom of your list, really?
Yeah, but I mean,
misogynist.
I don't think she did a bad job at all.
Okay.
She did really well. But yeah,
interesting.
Wow, I'm sure that's how they ranked her back in the 60s too. So she's at the bottom.
Glad you're saying it.
It's where the women belong. Is the bottom.
Right.
Invisible and
The big
pregnant.
guy, the educated guy, the young guy, and the woman.
Oh my God. I got to mention it now, but I looked up in the comic. I'm like, when did she get pregnant? I don't remember her ever running around pregnant, like fighting crime. And it was an issue in the comic where she was like, everybody thought she was sick and she had to go to the hospital. And, the doctor's like, oh no, we're not sure what it is. And at the very end, it just shows like Reed and Sue looking out of the panel at like the reader saying like, she's pregnant. And then it's like a few issues later, there's like a baby. Just a baby. They're like, you know what? We don't have time for pregnancy.
That was post comic code, so probably even the fact that they were able to use the word pregnant in the comic was something they had to fight for.
Yeah. Wow, Sue, you look like you put on a couple pounds. Not like 30.
Like literally back in the day, like the I Love Lucy episode where Lucy become pregnant in real life, they had to title that episode "Lucy is Pregnant," but in Spanish. Because like the censorship was such the type that they couldn't actually say the word pregnant on like broadcast TV.
Pregunta?
So close.
Yeah.
So close.
Yeah. Andy, let's go to you.
So I actually would I think I would probably put Sue at the top of my list. I thought she was, so I'm not super familiar. Actually, I'm not familiar at all with her other work. Kirby's other work.
Princess Margaret in The Crown is, I think, like her, like her kind of big star.
She's in something recently, like not Fantastic Four, but something else got either it's streaming just recently or something that's coming up.
I remember the name of it.
She played Josephine in the Ridley Scott Napoleon movie. A lot of random prestige stuff that like none of the four of us really follow too much.
I think it's interesting that she got cast in the role with, having, I guess, comparatively fewer credits to her name than any of the other guys, or at least maybe not being quite as pop culture related as the other guys. But I thought she was really good. I think I would go her, then The Thing, because I thought, I first of all, I like the actor, who I'm not even going to try to say his name, Eben whatever.
Yeah.
I think he's great.
Eben Mossy Baccarat.
Sure.
Right.
Close enough. He was good. So I enjoyed him. But then, I'm a little bit, so first of all, I don't think that Pedro Pascal was a bad casting choice, but I don't know that he was the right casting choice for that part. He was fine, but he doesn't strike me as a Reed Richards type. There's any number of other things I think he could have played amongst. I think he could have been a pretty decent Doctor Doom.
Sure.
If you want to keep him in that continuity, I think he could. In fact, I hate that Robert Downey is Doctor Doom. That bothers me. I think that is such bullshit.
Comes back to the corporate noting and people sort of getting desperate and being like, why are we not making $1 billion for each of these movies and making cumulative decisions, getting them further and further away from like the things that made like the original run of MCU $1 billion movies like actually exciting and like worth seeing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think him being cast as Doom is stupid. I will see it. Of course I will, but I just don't think it's a good casting job. So at any rate, then the guy that plays Johnny Storm, whose name is escaping me,
Joseph Quinn.
Right. I mean, the only thing I've ever seen him in is Stranger Things. Loved him as Eddie in Stranger Things. I thought he was a fine choice for Johnny Storm, but I think there were other guys that could have played that role as well, if not better than him. So it's a toss-up for me for the third and fourth spot.
Right. Eric, how about yourself?
Yeah. I don't know. Sue Storm is either 1 or 2 for me. Like, I didn't know the actress as well. I thought she did a solid performance. Just strong, really good delivery. She's just, something about she feels very real. Like she feels like a real person, and that's what I liked about her. She doesn't feel like she's acting.
Projects education, projects competency, projects confidence.
I love the scene where it's like they're having dinner. What is it like? What do they call it? Like Sunday dinner or something like that, or that. But it's like when there's the reveal that she's pregnant, and then I was just like, that's it. It's I don't know. She just has something about her that I liked. Especially not knowing who she is or seen her in anything else. I like those kind of movies where you have something where it's an indie movie or something like that, and they have these actors that you don't know who they are.
They're from some niche thing that people who you know that are into it really love it, but you've just had nothing to do with like whatsoever. It's like anytime someone comes over from some like Downton Abbey or The Crown or like whatever the fuck else. Like this is like a show I would never watch, never be interested in. And then they come into some pop culture thing or some kind of nerd shit, and you're like, wow, where has this person been like the entire time?
And that's the reason I build it up is because they throw Pedro Pascal on this, and I'm just like, you already know the things he's been in. You know what he can do, and he just brings that same kind of character. He doesn't bring anything different. It's like Robert Downey Jr., Chris Pratt, or it's like a big name. And that's what I think, Marvel and Disney here were like, hey, we need to have, this is good. This is like one of the bigger, Marvel teams that everybody knows. And we want to, strike with a bang. So we have to have somebody kind of leading that, like a Robert Downey Jr. type character. And they're like, okay, Pedro Pascal, everybody loves The Last of Us. So let's just stick him in there.
Last of Us, The Mandalorian.
But this is a TV cast, right? Think about it. It's like the actor that plays the Thing is in The Bear. So it's like people love The Bear. So we'll throw him in there. People love The Mandalorian or Last of Us. So we have Pedro Pascal. We have Eddie from Stranger Things.
Girlfriends that are getting dragged to this probably watch The Crown a fair amount. So they probably know Vanessa Kirby.
The Crown, sure. So it's like a full, streaming cast.
Sure. That's a great point.
That's how you're reaching out to like the younger audience. But I mean, getting back to the cast, I would say like 1 is Sue Storm. I would say 2 is the actor that played Thing. I liked him. Something about him, I don't know what it is. He just played a cool, chill kind of like Ben Grimm.
Right.
And then I'll say like Eddie and Pedro Pascal. I won't even call him Reed Richards. Yeah. He's not my Reed.
I'm pretty much just like a very slight inversion of that, kind of knowing the comics. The Thing was number 1 for me because it just like the entire time, similar to just about everybody in like Superman. I hate to kind of keep drawing those comparisons, but just like Jesus, the whole thing, we're like no notes, knocked it out of the park. Did a character that's actually it's kind of funny is been an actual relatively Michael Chiklis in the original kind of Fox Fantastic Four movies was pretty good at it, and it's not even a character that hasn't been done well up until this point. But I was on board for like the voice acting, the character conceptualization, like the visuals of him, everything else. Him growing out the beard towards the end of the movie. I've said it
that
before.
Was fun.
Yeah,
I like the beard.
Yeah, the beard was fun.
Right. Vanessa Kirby, very close, kind of number 2 for me. This is kind of the opposite of the King. The opposite of the Thing. This is a character that's really never done well in the movies. The modern comic book version of her is that she, that she's highly educated, highly capable, a leader, a diplomat in kind of the modern adaptations, particularly kind of what I understand of the Jonathan Hickman stuff. Probably a better kind of team leader, probably a better head of the group than Reed is himself, and just the beauty and maturity and kind of just the absolute sophistication and confidence that she brings to anything. One of the funniest it's a blink and you miss it bit, but when she's very, very pregnant, she comes into the baby's room and Herbie is putting the fucking crib together because the dad just can't be fucked with himself. And she's like, Herbie, hello. And he's like, burr, 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 burr.
What are you doing, Herbie?
Yeah. Joseph Quinn is as as the Human Torch. Perfectly good, perfectly fine. I think it's a less maybe exciting or dynamic character. It's not sort of like the pure, complete hound dog that kind of Chris Evans played in like the Fox movies, but it's very appropriate for the character because, as we mentioned earlier, the way that all four of these characters are being portrayed are as astronauts, as highly like intelligent and capable people. And then Pedro Pascal. This brings me back to sort of kind of my kind of corporate thumbprinting thing again, but I think they cast the other three, they're like ready to go, and then some executive went to ChatGPT and went, ChatGPT, who is daddy? Pedro Pop. Just yeah.
I'll say this: one missed opportunity. They should have just had the scene where like Sue, she used her energy and pushed Galactus into like that wormhole or whatever that the bridge created. And then she dies, and then they all rush over, and they're like, "Oh no, Sue! Oh, she's dead! Oh my god!" And then her brother should just run up and grab her and shook her, and he's just like, "Sue, wake up! I don't like this. Sue, wake up!"
I do not understand that.
Did you watch Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Chrissy, wake up!
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There you go. They made a whole meme about it, and it was just like. They sped it up, but they had a song, Chrissy, wake up.
Oh,
Chrissy, wake up. I don't like this.
Let's talk a little bit about what to me,
just ignore me. It's fine.
As the one unmarried guy in the show without kids, the centerpiece argument, and just very, very interested to hear from like three family men on the panel. But the argument where Galactus has basically been, okay, you either give me the baby or your whole planet is fucked. You know definitively. You've gotten recordings and observations from the other planets I've visited. You know I can just kind of take about the Earth. Billions will die just like that. You have to give me my baby. You turn the baby over like none of that's going to happen. The argument that Sue and Ree have at the midpoint of the movie, where she just kind of comes in and it's just like, we're not going to give him the baby. And Sue's just glaring at him, and she goes, like, but you thought about it. You're like, still not going to give him the baby. Whatever you guys want to say or not say about that scene, I'm just kind of.
He's like, look, in The Last of Us, the first thing to go were the babies.
Same thing in Child of Men.
I mean, let me ask you the question: if a fat bastard says he'll spare you if you give him the baby, do you give him the baby?
The baby or my baby?
My baby.
Yeah. Your baby? All right.
You want me to say it? I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back.
I was waiting for you to say it.
Were you?
Someone got to bring it up. I guess to answer your question there, Johnny, it was on everybody's mind. I mean, obviously she thought about it because otherwise it wouldn't have come up. It's your thought is, as you're thinking through the process, you're thinking, I give up the baby, my baby, and I save the millions, but that's not going to happen. So what's my alternative? So in some form or fashion, everybody thought of giving up the baby.
Interesting. So your defensive read is like it's saying, don't think about a pink elephant.
Exactly. And what are you going to think about?
Unless it looks like a baby.
Listen, Galactus, he's a big motherfucker. He eats planets. He can get what he wants.
My thing is, they make it like at the very beginning when Sue brings up that she's pregnant. They're like, we've been trying, So I think if they didn't have the struggle for Sue to get pregnant, they would have been like, look, we made this baby in like a couple weeks. I'm definitely down for smashing more. Just give him the baby. Reed is a smart guy. I don't want to put that past him. Reed is very smart.
This is the thing, like how a parent is like super protective about like the oldest kid. It's like, oh no, he's got to wear like a helmet like all the time and like no violent movies. And by like the second or third kid, like just who gives a fuck? They can. It's fine.
I know.
Whatever, it's fine.
He'll kind of make it on his own. He'll be fine.
Yep.
So you're saying if it hadn't been the first kid, it might have been a more reasonable conversation.
if Reed had he was a strong like bull, then they would give him the baby.
If he had some good swimmers.
Yeah.
They're all on tiny surfboards. The power guy. I herald his sperm. I herald your uterus. I herald baby. Franklin.
They should in the back. They should play Surfing
Naveen,
USA.
that's short. Okay, you got to make that a. No, Naveen's just shaking his head.
You talking about heralding everything?
Heralding. Yeah. Put the backdrop. John's at a mall, and he's got a skateboard instead of a surfboard.
I hate those videos, but that made me laugh so goddamn hard. And mall security shows up, and the guy goes, "Are you the defenders of this planet?"
That guy's lucky he didn't get punched.
Jeez. Yeah.
Seriously.
Andy, you look like you had something to say on the question.
So I mean, they both had completely valid points that they were making.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sacrifice one for the many?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Team Sue. As much as sacrificing your baby for everybody else is probably the right moral decision.
Reed didn't want to do it.
Yeah, he's not saying to do it. He just thought about it.
All right.
I think that's what the argument was.
He didn't want to do it, but if she was open to it, he'd be cool with that.
Yeah, I don't know that he had completely ruled it out.
Uh-huh.
But it was like one of those things where Sue was like, "You're not considering doing that, right?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, no, definitely not. Oh, absolutely not."
Italian or Chinese? You want it Italian or I'm down for Chinese too.
I mean, either way, Italian for sure, definitely. I agree. That's what I wanted from the beginning.
It's just one of those. You're like, why are we fighting?
Yes, yeah, we're gonna do what you want us to do anyway. So just tell me what it should be.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So, but I couldn't sacrifice my own kid, but I would certainly think about it and clip it.
And yeah. Naveen, erase everything back to the doorbell. Yeah. The only thing I had to add to that, I don't know why I got this image in my head. I don't know what was so funny to me, but the crazy scene where Sue was giving birth on the spaceship while they're being chased by the Silver Surfer, and Franklin finally comes, and Ben is there literally with the tongs, kind of taking off the umbilical cord, and Kirby, who, full disclosure, if we're ranking all performances, my number one of the movie was Kirby, who wanted so desperately to be human, so desperately to be an uncle. Kirby shows up like a little baby blanket, just trying to help out. But all I could picture in that moment is that Kirby, if he had shown up in kind of like a rabbi outfit with just like the hat and like the curls and kind of like the talus around, and he had tried doing like a bris, okay?
He's the moil.
Was Galactus looking for the entire baby, or would he have been satisfied with the Fantastic Foreskin? Legit question. What if they just kind of tossed it out the window? Galactus is like, yeah, this is actually all I need.
You've been waiting all night to make that joke.
I live by myself.
He's been sweating profusely, and I thought it was just really hot there. But
it is really hot there.
Here we go. Let's see how they take it. I thought you were going in a different direction because I laughed both times when Sue's going into labor in the ship, right. and then Ben Grimm's just like, all right, sets it to autopilot, goes back there. She's kicking her fucking panties off, right. And then he just mounts right at the bottom. He's all ready to get that baby. I mean, they don't show you how long he was actually waiting for the baby to come out. So he's just like, look, I'm like a stone giant. I don't get any poontang. This is the best that I can get.
Right.
And they just like, oh god, that's nasty. Ugh.
Oh, sorry, Eric.
This is just on the screen. This is 4DX.
Although it does ask the question, can you have babies in space? Is that a thing?
Hmm.
Maybe it might become a thing because like water births. Maybe it might be like space babies.
What would stop
I
a pregnancy if it's happening in space, though?
don't know.
Besides,
Do you need gravity?
Cosmic rays.
Well, Reed has like this weird thing. He dashes off to Sue that doesn't seem to be related to anything that happens next, and kind of just feels like he's throwing out like a space fact. But it's like, yeah, he's you're dilated. You're going to need gravity to push or something. And then she like delivers like the baby anyway.
Yeah, like floating the whole time. Like,
right.
We'll test that theory.
Right. He's just like space fact. Not going to be a great
Is that like
fact.
rock facts?
It's like a rock slide. Last question. So this is more just kind of like a thing that kind of struck me about, like, again, I thought like first half of the movie super strong, kind of feels kind of rushed and kind of clipped together. Apparently in the making of this movie, a lot of the original footage was cut, including more stuff with Paul Walker Hauser's Moleman. Didn't have enough of him in the movie, and entire scenes of John Malkovich playing the Red Ghost, a 1963 villain who had an army of super apes. Would a film that focused on that have been more fun? Should they maybe have done this movie as like a two-parter or a three-parter where Galactus is like the villain they build up to it by the end of the trilogy, rather than trying to do everything like in the single movie?
I think they could have started the movie. Like, that's a great point. They kind of like allude to all these villains. They thwarted this person or that person. I think it would have been fun if they started where it was like in the middle of something and they were battling the Moleman's like army or whatever. And then like the giant thing from like the cover of like the first Fantastic Four comic shows up and they beat him. And then you actually get introduced to their powers. And that's like another way to introduce you to the characters. They went for a more subtle approach, which I don't know. That was one thing I kind of hoped for more too, was more action. Less planning, more action. I think with Reed, you're bound to get the whole like, let's think this all through part of it. So maybe that's the direction.
That's consistent with the story. That's certainly consistent with the characterizations that they went for in this particular script.
You'll see, like when I talk about Fantastic Four in Marvel Comics later on, there's something interesting I'll show you. You'll get a good laugh out of it. So
sweet. Andy Naveen, like, any thoughts there?
It was, I believe it went well the way they did it. You know, I stand by what I said at the beginning, where it was more of a collage. It was a quick origin story and how they helped save everybody. So going through those villains, I thought was fine. It'd be kind of neat to, I guess, see a movie of that sort, but I think it worked out where, you know, you want to get to the big bad of Galactus there, and the whole process of it. I think the other side of it that made it kind of neat was it's kind of similar. Yeah, you got to see Galactus right there, and they had to, and you find out that, you know, he's coming for you. Right. So you be ready for it, be prepared. But it was kind of
a villain, by the way, in the second of like the Chris Evans, Jessica Alba Fantastic Four movies, was portrayed as a giant cloud rather than the original kind of Jack Kirby design.
Right. Well, yeah, that's a different story. So I think the only really good Fantastic Four movie before this one was the first
The Incredibles 2. I agree.
Yeah. What's that? The Incredibles 2?
Yeah.
You know, they're probably not worth getting into this, but, you know, there's a lot of all the podcasts I've listened to about the Fantastic Four. You know, they're both like, they've made two great Fantastic Four films already, and it's literally kind of two Pixar films from like a few decades ago. Like, it's, you look at it, it's the same dynamics. It's the for like the power set. It's fire swapped out for speed, and then everything's kind of juggled around. But Baby Jack from The Incredibles is Franklin. It's just this god baby with like all the powers. It is the exact same thing, and it's looking at the exact kind of sort of family kind of like dynamics and push-pull and all the rest of it.
That's awesome. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I mean, even there, in the first one ends with Moleman effectively, and gets picked up in the second one with Moleman.
There we go.
Yeah.
Andy, how about yourself? Do you think like would this have been like a bit more effective if they kind of sort of built up to like the big kind of, because again, like Galactus is the Omega level villain of like these comic book stories. Like this is their version of like a Thanos or a like Mephisto.
So, all right, I have a few thoughts. First of all, MCU movies in the past have often suffered from like character bloat. Just try to put way too many, personas into one movie, and it just feels overdone, rushed, and whatever. Considering how little character development the Silver Surfer and Galactus were given in this movie, I think if you were to add even more villains into this, it just wouldn't have worked with the existing script.
Right. I think the thing that's been more advocating is like the stuff that sort of got cut from the first part, make that the first movie, push off Silver Surfer and Galactus until maybe a second, like a sequel or a sequel to the sequel later on.
So building up to Galactus could have worked. It's possible. But in my opinion, Doom is really the big bad for the Fantastic Four. I think it makes sense to build to him, maybe not to Galactus. I think if with them fighting Galactus in this first one, it shows how powerful they are, and sets the stage for future movies where we know that these guys are a formidable team and all that kind of stuff. However, I think Galactus is boring. I think as a character and as a villain, I just don't find him particularly compelling. So I think seeing somebody like John Malkovich, who is an incredible actor, and in a role where he would have the opportunity to actually act, unlike the guy that played Galactus,
and be in control of a giant like army. Again, Red Ghost, big army, super monkeys.
Yeah, well, okay, pinning that for just a second.
They all going Malkovich. I
think being able to see John Malkovich in the MCU acting as the Red Ghost would have been more interesting. But obviously he's not nearly as big a threat, as literally and figuratively, as Galactus is. I think probably one of the reasons why they didn't spend more time on the monkeys with Red Ghost is because you've got a whole slew of movies with, photorealistic monkey people with all the Planet of the Apes, films that are out there. So in order to maybe separate it from that, and I don't know that they necessarily had this thought process, but a way to separate this movie from those movies is to not even have monkeys involved at all. Plus you've got Wizard of Oz or whatever, Wicked.
Well, plus what all those monkeys and all those films will actually tell you, it is not ape law.
Exactly.
Come back to that over and over and over. Fucking over.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't know. I think they did this move. They did this movie probably as well as they could have, given what they were going for and what they were trying to accomplish. With basically making the Fantastic Four this super formidable team. That can take on even these massive, super bad guys like Galactus. But I think, like I said, I think Galactus is not a particularly interesting character.
Right. It's interesting, like the way that the filmmakers or the actor portraying Galactus has described him is kind of what your point. There's barely even any characterization there. They say he is less a recognizable character with sort of with thoughts and emotions and needs and motivations, and more an earthquake, more of a tsunami.
Yeah. Yeah, he's an appetite is really all he is.
Right. He just wants to eat planets and collect foreskins.
Yep, and he's all out of foreskins.
Imagine that Infinity Gauntlet. That's what the new Toxic Avenger should have been about. Vigo's toes before we wrap up and kind of get to like Eric's little segment.
And look up any Vigo's toes.
What? I got one.
Yeah.
This is a fun one. So Universe 828. They based that off of Jack Kirby's birthday. August
Oh,
28th.
fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. I was reading about it. They created a universe for this Fantastic Four because they wanted to give them a fresh start that's not tied in with any of the other MCU stuff. So they can kind of do
kind of like an
what they want with it.
ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Fantastic.
Yeah, but they had that little Easter egg for Jack Kirby.
It's fun.
Not so much of Vigo's toes necessarily, but you know, in our internal chat, Johnny, that little film that you put out about Herbie, where you know a lot of the Herbie stuff that you see on screen is practical effects. It's an actual robot.
I really love that. Again, my favorite character in the movie, personally.
And honestly, that little short that they did on that was really, really good. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we can link to it in the description of this movie. So, I mean, of this pod rather, so people can go check it out if they want to.
Right.
It was really, really good. And
Help Disney try to break even on this one.
Yeah, well, they need our help.
Yeah.
They need our listener. So I thought that was kind of cool that, you know, a lot of that was an actual robot. Some of it was obviously an animatronic, a puppet kind of a thing. But
some is CGI, but
yeah, but I thought that was really cool. Again, practical effects for the win.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that Herbie was actually not part of the Fantastic Four? He was actually introduced through the cartoon that they had in what was it, like 1978 or something?
78.
Like
Did I share this video on like the group chat as well?
No, I looked. I knew this separately, but so what it was is they it's not specific why Human Torch wasn't included in the original cartoon. They say that he was tied in with some other deal they were working on to make him like his own movie or something. But there was also the fear that kids would want to emulate him and then set themselves on fire.
It's pretty that there's never been there was a pretty popular Fantastic Four cartoon, I think by Hanna-Barbera in 1978. That was Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman thing, and this fucking like little robot named Kirby, who was kind of just like this kind of comic relief character. And people at the time were like, you know, the Fantastic Four had been like a multi-decade established comic. The rumor was that it's just everybody had different conspiracy theories. Everybody had the most common thing sort of being like, oh, if a comic book stuff was made so kind of stupidly and by people that didn't really understand or care about at the time, the biggest conspiracy theory was like, well, they were either they didn't want to pay to animate the Human Torch, or they thought that if the kids saw like their superhero like a on fire superhero, they would get the idea to kind of fucking self-immolate. And then Marvel said years and years later, we were kind of broke at the time. We had sold our rights to like CBS or something to develop live action properties around some of our characters, like Spider-Man, and Human Torch kind of being like one of those things. But it's a weird thing. My dad brought all those videos home for me to watch kind of back in the day, and it was always extremely confusing to me why there was like this little maybe like kind of like the coolest character like in the entire show.
I didn't realize though. I looked up some more of this. The voice of Herbie was actually done by Frank Welker, who's famous for doing the voice of Megatron among like 100 other voice actors. He does all kinds of stuff.
Nibbler on Futurama.
What was
Curious George.
Yeah. He also did the voice of like Stripe on like Gremlins. He did assorted Gremlin voices. He's always doing like creatures or animal voices.
Has something like 1,000 IMDb.
Yeah, it's nuts. Something else I didn't realize is Herbie was the last character created by Jack Kirby for Marvel.
Really?
Yep. That's the last thing he put out there. John Byrne actually introduced Kirby into his Fantastic Four run, and then Herbie went evil, and then they have a whole fight with the Fantastic Four with Herbie.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they destroy him, and they're like, just leave him there.
He kept on trying to talk kids into setting themselves on fire.
He's like, don't do it, kids. Don't do it. Herbie, what's up, Herbie? Don't do it, kids.
I love so many little Herbie details, but I think maybe my favorite one is when they decide to go on the space mission. It's Herbie has kind of like the reel-to-reel kind of cassette like playing kind of behind his eyes, and then when they're preparing for the mission, Reed opens up kind of like the front, like Herbie's faceplate, takes out a tape that says Earth on it and puts in a different tape that just says space. More of that, just that shit on his veins. The only one like bit of trivia I just want to kind of shout out from IMDb is that Ralph Ineson, who played Chris Finch on like the British Office, and he's like the bad guy in like the creepy deep voice guy in like about a dozen horror movies since then, voiced Galactus. When they asked him about his process, he apparently told interviewers that he spent time ruminating at the top of tall buildings to prepare for the role of Galactus. Do with that what you know. Yeah, he's just that generation. He's just like fucking nerds. I gotta pay the mortgage. Anyway,
Wow.
Yeah, let's pivot. Eric's got like a little like I said, this is a close to 65-year-old comic strip and set of characters. Has a really interesting and like there's just like amazing history to it. Like a lot of great writers, like a lot of kind of great artists worked on it over the years. And Eric is going to do like a little just kind of comic book history thing for us to wrap up.
All right, I'm going to share something with you, and then somehow we can share this with folks after if they're curious and they want to follow along. All right, so hopefully I can.
In one mighty magazine. Wasn't even called a comic then.
Magazine. Question is, can I show you the rest of the pictures? I've got like 30 pictures to share here.
Naveen, leave all of this in.
You want me to leave all this blank space in there?
Yes.
Okay. You guys
Naveem's
with
the
me?
opposite of Herbie the Moyle. He never cuts anything out.
Herbie.
Herbie.
Where's my slideshow, Herbie?
Herbie, the love bug.
I'm working on it.
Say the line. Come on.
Sounds like animal. No, I'm not going to do an animal impression. Not today, folks. All right. I can't see you guys. You can see my presentation. Yes, we're good.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to give you guys a little brief history about Fantastic Four. And then I'm going to talk about what happened in the comics with the coming of Galactus and how that compared to the movie. And I'm going to let you guys kind of be the judge. Should they been a little more, true to what they did in the comics, or do you think what they chose here was probably the better way to go? I also did a little research about Silver Surfer, which is just batshit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that too. Okay. So what I have here before you, which you saw in the film because they recreated, is the first issue of Fantastic Four. Like John mentioned, Fantastic Four debuted November 1961, written by Stan Lee, drawn by Jack Kirby. So the publisher at Marvel, Martin Goodman, he asked Stan Lee to create a superhero team to compete with the Justice League of America because their comics were blowing up at the time. So Stan Lee goes, he writes up this script and he brings it back to like Goodman and Kirby. And it's this tale about four adventurers led by a professor who travel to Earth's core to do battle with monsters and another human from Earth who lives underground. Closely based off the premise to the movie Journey to the Center of the Earth, which came out a couple years before.
Right.
So Goodman, Kirby, Lee, they all sit down, they brainstorm. They're like, this is good, but we can do something better than this. So Kirby's a big sci-fi guy. I don't know if you guys know much about Jack Kirby. He's done a lot of stuff for DC Comics as well as Marvel Comics. And so he's like, you know what? I've got these perfect characters for this comic. He presents all his different ideas to them. Lee, again, is like, you know what? I like what you have here. I think the big thing now that I need to do is I got to give these characters personality. I got to give them a backstory. Who are they? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? I got to make them, feel human to people. He's all about the whole thing with like Spider-Man and having your underdogs.
Right.
Superhero
characters that felt like also real people with problems.
Yeah.
Spider-Man was like, okay, just he's a superhero, but also a teenager with kind of real problems and a shitty life. Fantastic Four, superheroes, but also they are a family that kind of fight, bicker, have money problems, whatever else.
Yep. So Kirby has his ideas for the characters. He shows them to, Goodman and Stan Lee. They're like, these look great. And Stan Lee's like, you know what? One final touch. Can you just add like on the front of like each of the uniforms a 4 with a circle around it? And so that set it in motion. And comic just happened to be a hit. Pretty soon after, they got lots of fan mail. People requested more Fantastic Four stuff. And the series went on for like 104 issues. And
quick question there: was it their best-selling comic at the time? It was near to the top, but it might have actually.
It was.
Yeah.
It soon became their best-selling comic. And it's funny to think that like with Spider-Man, there's like all these other versions of Spider-Man, like Spectacular Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man, just regular Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man. Fantastic Four, there's always just been Fantastic Four. So it's strange to think that even at like the peak of its popularity, they just kept going with that just one series.
Right.
But through that comic, I mean, they introduced you to characters like Doctor Doom, Silver Surfer, Galactus, the Black Panther, Agatha Harkness, the Skrull, Moleman, Namor. I don't know if you guys know Namor. He was like an old character from Human Torch, and Namor were like World War II.
They were World War I era comic characters that got brought back and sort of repurposed during the Fantastic Four.
So they came back.
Namor's whole thing in the comics, it'll be interesting to see if they visit this in like the later movies, but always trying to fuck Sue.
Oh yeah.
Always just trying to kind of get
He's a slippery fish.
There we go.
So when they
Mama
hit
drama
about issue 48, that's when they introduced Galactus in the issue The Coming of Galactus. It was 3 issues, and it's known as the Galactus trilogy by fans. I've never heard it called that, but that's what they said online. So let me just kind of walk you through it, you guys through. Let me show you some pictures that I have here. Picture of Moleman from the very first issue of Fantastic Four. And by the way, the first issue of Fantastic Four, it's exactly kind of what Stan Lee set out to do. Fantastic Four go to the center of the Earth. They encounter the Moleman and all his monsters. They, fight him, and then they come back out like the protectors.
I didn't know this was based on Journey to the Center of the Earth, because like prior to being like a movie, that was like that would have been at the time a 70-year-old novel from Jules Verne, which I think he wrote in about the 1890s.
He made a movie in like 1959, I guess.
Sure.
And that was a pretty big hit. So, and I guess Goodman was just like a big fan of like movies and stuff like that. So he always loved trying to like pull from like stuff that people liked. All right. Moleman. Look at right here. This is what I'm saying. Look at those.
Malkovich.
This is my favorite one. John knows, the Puppet Master. I don't know if you guys ever saw that clip. Elijah Wood does the song Puppet Master. It's from Yo Gabba Gabba. Yeah. It's the Puppet Master.
No.
You've lost both them completely, but keep going.
Yeah. Also, weirdness enough, Puppet Master is the stepfather of Alicia, who is the blind girlfriend of the Thing in the comic strip. Because why not? And I also just learned yesterday that apparently Johnny Storm marries her in issue 300 because he's a prick.
Wow.
Cucking actually sort of becomes like a bit of a consistent thematic thing in later Fantastic Four.
Look, as long as he doesn't hook up with Sue, I'm good. 60s were weird times, man.
Truth.
So this is the cover to The Coming of Galactus. And the guy on the left is the Watcher. If you've seen the What If series on Disney Plus, that's your man.
I was going to ask if that was the Watcher.
The Jeffrey Wright does an amazing job doing like the voice acting of that character.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of talk you through the Galactus trilogy and talk about some of the similarities, some of the differences, and I'll let you judge for yourselves. The beginning of the comic, it starts out, the sky is on fire. Nobody knows what's going on. Mass chaos ensues. The Watcher appears to the Fantastic Four, and he lets them know, hey, something's coming, and I'm trying to hide the Earth. and he's trying to hide the Earth from the Silver Surfer because the Silver Surfer has his eyes set on planet Earth for Galactus. So Silver Surfer bursts through the flames. He arrives. He tells everybody, in New York City, Galactus is coming.
Fuck.
Yeah. So the thing is just like, you know what? While by the way, Silver Surfer is delivering his speech, the thing runs up behind him and just punches him in the back of the
just
head.
cold cocks him.
He doesn't even give him a
Look at the
warning.
dialogue. He yells, "Holy Hannah!"
Yeah, holy Hannah. I didn't mean to hit him that hard. It just knocks him off the building. And then he falls. And then, like, I didn't show it here, but Reed's like, don't worry. The thing's like, I didn't mean to hit him that hard. And Reed's like, hey, don't worry about it. He wanted you to do that, right? That's what he says.
All right.
Look at this. It's a Silver Surfer just lying unconscious outside somebody's apartment on a skylight. It's not cracked, by the way, so he must weigh like 5 pounds. I don't know. He's just there, unconscious.
Keeps up with his cardio.
Clearly wanted that. Galactus shows up. I don't know why he's dressed the way he's dressed. It's a very hot day.
It's a nice skirt.
So it's really for the listeners. There's Galactus really has kind of like a bit of like a Scottish Highlands warrior kilt situation.
Tunic,
where he's got from the waist up, it's everything that you'd expect, and then kind of hate calling it a skirt exactly, but then very, very bare, very shaven legs from the knee down below it.
He also doesn't have a beard, so that's good.
Yeah,
they're like, we'll give that to Thing. So he shows up, right? Galactus shows. By the way, when they show him talking to the Fantastic Four, he's probably only about like maybe 15 feet tall. He's not that big.
He's not the size of a skyscraper.
No, it wasn't until John Byrne's run when like he just made him like enormous.
Interesting.
This guy's just like a abnormally tall dude. All right, so Thing, let's see.
Abnormally tall, free ball.
Silver Surfer is just kind of still hanging out. He's just kind of lying unconscious still. The Thing decides to attack Galactus. Galactus retaliates with this canister of something called cosmic insect repellent. And they're like, foof.
It explodes with a giant poof.
Yike. Let's get out of here. The Torch decides he's going to set Galactus on fire because why not?
Again, holy Hannah.
Holy Hannah. Yeah, look at that.
Holy Hannah. Galactus is just like, Hannah, fuck off. Just slaps him, knocks him to the ground. He gets put out. So then he decides he's going to take over the Baxter building. He's going to install all his equipment. And then what he's going to do with his big energy ray is he's going to drain Earth of all its oceans. And then once he's done that, then all the sea life and the plant life will die, and everything else will die as a result because there's just like no water or moisture left in the world.
Interesting. I thought
Reed decides
deciding.
Let's go back and think about what to do, and he does so by shaving.
Right.
You can't see it here, but Johnny's like, "What are you doing, Reed? You think this is a shaving commercial?" And he's just like, "No harm in tidying up, lad.
Right.
You could use a shower yourself."
This is some Don Draper shit right here. Men used to be men back in the day.
Oh yeah. Look.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. You know what's going to clear my head? You know what's going to really lock me in? Just a shower and a shave with the boys.
Good. Good. I know. You look at Thing. He's taking like a bath. Like this.
He's sponging himself off.
He's naked in most of the first issues anyway, so they've already seen what he's got.
Right.
He's got to trim that beard though.
They've seen Thing's Thing?
Thing's Thing.
You seeing his little thingly ding?
It's dork.
Yeah.
Dork. There we go. It's a stalagmite, stalactite. I don't know which one it is. So Silver Surfer wakes up. Alicia invites him in for dinner. By the way, you'll notice she's blind, by the way. That's why like all like the dishes are empty. So,
Right,
so Silver Surfer's sitting here. He's like, "Do you consume these foreign morsels?" I'm like, he's literally looking at, what is this, like an empty like glass milk jug? He's like, "You want me to fucking eat this? Like, what is this?" She's like, "Look, I don't know how to make food. I can't see what I'm eating." Pretty much.
There's shades of like the relationship between like the toxic Avenger and his blind girlfriend here.
Yeah. So Alicia pretty much convinces Silver Surfer, like, you're alive. The people from your planet are alive. How are we any different? Why don't we should be spared because we're alive as anything else. And Silver Surfer's like, word. So the Watcher has this other batshit idea. He's like, you know what? We can't beat Galactus like with force. What we'll do is we'll threaten him. So he decides on this mission to take Johnny and send him back through the center of infinity, long before humans ever existed, to find the home planet of Galactus, where there's a device called the Ultimate Nullifier that can destroy the universe. And by doing so, it will lead to Galactus's starvation because they'll have killed off any planet nearby that could help nourish him. The 60s.
All right.
Silver Surfer's like, fuck that. I'm going to go fight Galactus. He shows up. He shoots him a bunch. Galactus is like, ow.
What are you doing?
Silver Surfer's like, pew, pew.
All right.
Johnny comes back through infinity. He has the Ultimate Nullifier. Gives it to Reed. Reed holds it up right up to like Galactus's face. He's like, dude. And it's great.
He got the blicky. He's like, fuck off.
He's like, whoa, you can stretch your arms? That's insane. Yeah, it looks kind of like a how would you describe it? Like a gas pump? Like just upside down
gas pump.
Yeah, kind of a hot glue gun is where my mind kind of keeps going with it.
He's thinking of like Zoolander, and they're gonna have like a gas fight or something like that.
It's like something you get like on $20 on Amazon. That it's like a USB thing you can kind of charge, put in your car if you have to reinflate your tires.
And it's great. I don't put it here, but Galactus makes the argument. He's like, look, if you use that, you're gonna like kill yourselves. Like, why would you use that to like try to hurt me? And it's not even gonna kill me anyways. And Reed's like, I am that crazy.
Right.
And he's like, all right, Pedro, that's fine. That's fine. I'll give you your way.
Right.
There's no mention.
Back when we have a baby.
He's like, there's no mention of the baby. The baby doesn't even come up. And that's it. So I included this extra stuff. This is much later on. And this is when they have Franklin. Yay, Franklin the baby. And apparently they didn't name the baby for a while. So there was multiple issues where they're like, what are we going to call that little rascal? Well, we don't have time. We're fighting crime.
We don't have time
they
to name
reveal.
our son.
Yeah, they named the baby Franklin B. Richards. Guess what the B is for?
Ben.
His middle
name,
Benjamin. Uncle Benjamin.
Detail I do really love in like the movie is just how stoked Ben and Johnny and Herbie just seem to be uncles, because there's like a blink and then you miss it kind of thing where like it just Ben is holding Franklin and he's hanging out with Johnny and Ben, they're doing just uncle shit. Ben is just kind of real quietly to Johnny. He's like, hey, Franklin says the new haircut looks stupid.
Yeah, I really do hate Johnny's haircut.
Yeah.
It's a wig.
Is it? It must be a wig.
It's a wig. Yeah, because he had shaved his head for another role.
Oh,
and so they had him wear a wig. Crazy.
I thought you were going to say he still had the Eddie Munson kind of just like that.
Also a wig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
Dude likes wigs. This is something that I will never understand. They're like, okay, we got to protect our baby. We don't want our baby to come in, harm's way. So we're going to find a babysitter for the baby.
Yeah. This is weird.
Incredible too.
Yeah.
They bring the baby. Wait, Agatha Harkness.
Yeah.
This is the first time they introduced this character in the Marvel Universe. What is going on?
Played very insanely by Catherine Hahn in like at WandaVision and Agatha All Along.
However, this character in the the art looks nothing like the one in the MCU. She's like an older, for the listener,
Right.
she's an older woman with
She's about
crazy hair.
112, like in this panel.
112. She's got no pupils, and she's holding a black cat that also has no pupils, that also kind of looks like a bulldog.
This is why the 60s ruled. It's like, okay, let's not name our baby for a while, and then we need a babysitter. Let's give him to a witch.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought it was a black pug, by the way. I was like, Vito? Is that Vito?
I think it's one of those things from the Ghostbusters.
Oh,
There you go.
Terror Dog.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's named the same as what H.P. Lovecraft named his cat. Look it up.
And it's also named Ebony.
Look it up later.
And she's Ivory.
I'm looking it up now.
It was Agatha all along.
Oh, you.
Yeah.
So this is the point where you don't see Franklin for like a long time. I'm convinced that like Agatha maybe ate him, but before she ate him, she cloned him so she could eat as many babies.
He only
as
saves
possible.
the foreskin and regrows him in a jar.
Wait a minute. What? Sorry. I just looked up the cat's name. Is that real?
That is real.
I am
Ebony.
not saying that.
H.P. Lovecraft, cat's name. Okay, let's I have one small thing I want to tag on here. While we're doing that, I want Eric to take a little pause from this great presentation. Look up what H.P. Lovecraft named his cat, and so we can get that. Don't say it out loud.
Holy shit.
Right.
Definitely don't say it out loud.
Right. So my original introduction to the pod, ... and Pod Daddy Eric, who has apparently just been ordained by Galactus as something called the Cosmic Instigator. We'll have to see how that pans out for the show. But I've been sort of saying before, I've been sort of fascinated with the idea of kind of like heralds and Galactus's herald. I looked up the names of his other heralds, and in no particular order. It's a long run of fancy motherfuckers. There's a guy called the Airwalker, Fire Lord, the Destroyer, Terax the Tamer, Nova, lover of Johnny Storm, Morg the Executioner, Redshift, Stardust, aka originally named Lambda Zero, Annihilation, Hunger, the Anti-Man, and Stardust Reborn. I don't have pictures of these characters, but trust me, they're all amazing.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, H.P. Lovecraft's cat is not going to make an appearance in this comic. It's a little. It's a name. It's a name of its time.
He's a complicated figure.
He really is.
We touched on it last episode, but yes. Moving on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that was. I have one more part of this, but I just want to get your take on that. So, what do you guys think? What I presented here.
Let's put it to Naveen and Andy. This is probably there's a lot.
Do you think they should have been closer to the source material, or do you think maybe what they did was probably the better thing to do?
The anarchist in me thinks they should have been closer to the source material, because it just would have made for some really freaking weird movies.
Yeah. Johnny through like space and time, like there's tons of pictures just showing him just getting like trippy drawings with crazy colors, him getting
this
sucked
was
into
the
nothingness.
Doctor Strange New
Like
Gods
an
Jack
acid
Kirby
dream or
did
something.
better than anybody else. Naveen, what do you think?
It would have been interesting to see it close to source material, but I also think it would have been really confusing. How are you going to tie in? There'll be a lot of things you'd have to tie in, not just, at the end of this movie was, Dr. Doom, but now you're bringing Agatha Harkness, and they did WandaVision, they did Agatha All Along, and, there's going to be some quite a storytelling to kind of connect all of this here to make it work one way or another, or I guess you just leave it alone and just have it.
I think the timing of it, like if you think about it, like the Disney Plus show just came out, like last year?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's still probably fresh in people's minds. If you put that as like a post-credit scene, I thought that might be kind of like a fun kind of like poke at like that thing that was in the comic.
I would say, of course, I want to see the bananas, bug nuts, crazy version of this. But the way I would defend it as a commercial choice, we just got a hugely successful, beloved, well-regarded Superman film that had Hawk Girl, the third-tier Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho the Element Man, a giant kaiju, Crypto, Supergirl, a fucking like army of like monkeys on Facebook just getting pissed off in a pocket dimension. We saw this. I mean, just all this is nuts. All this being made into a movie that actually works. It's not even like unprecedented though. Like, yeah. I think this would have been more fun. This would have been like a lot more weird. But this, I don't like. I any day of the week I will take a swing like this over something that feels like a little bit safe and corporatized and kind of chopped up.
Yeah, I would really like to see Marvel lean into some of the weirdness that they're experimenting with on their shows, their streaming stuff, in the movie side of things. Like just sort of. Just get batshit crazy, like even more so than
the movies have been kind of safe. The movies have been like a little kind of embarrassed recently to kind of just be as completely weird as they actually are.
But they also, cost $500 million to make, and nobody wants to take a big swing with $500 million.
Yeah,
true. Here was I've been rereading the Amazing Spider-Man run from like the 60s and the 70s right now, and I was. Caleb came up to me. He's like, "Why are you reading that old garbage?" And I'm like, "Okay, let me just tell you about a weird adventure I read." So Doc Ock, apparently he has Aunt May working for him as like a housekeeper. He falls in love with her and decides he's going to marry her. Her wedding is interrupted by Spider-Man, who then it's also interrupted by this guy called Hammerhead. Who reminds me of the guy from Dick Tracy, but this guy's like a mob boss that he had like a iron, like an anvil or something like that, like put in his head. So his head is made of iron, but it's also flat. So he's like a hammer for a head. So Hammerhead, Spider-Man interrupt the wedding. Doc Ock flees with Aunt May to this remote island that has like a nuclear power plant. They have a huge
Caleb,
fight.
by the way, has left 10 seconds into this conversation.
Yeah, there's a huge fight that happens. The nuclear power plant is set off to explode. Spider-Man escapes at the last minute with Aunt May. It explodes, blows up the whole island. Doc Ock shows up like a year later as this drunk homeless guy, who he's drunk. He's a drunk because he's being pursued by the ghost of Hammerhead, who then now is thirsting to kill Aunt May as revenge for making him go to the island to be killed by Doc Ock. I was like, this shit you can't make up. Like, it's just so weird and bizarre. Like, who's like, this is a great idea. Well, you go to the remote island with a power plant, and now Hammerhead comes back as a ghost, and he's just trying to like kill Aunt May. It's like, what?
This is the thing. This is for me fundamentally. While I will always be a comic book fan, I love the exercise of creativity. I love how crazy and out there that these things can get, and I will always go to like these movies because I'm always curious to see how, when a fan of these things actually kind of gets to make it, how much of this shit they can sneak by the studio and like the money people and actually kind of get up on the screen.
What my whole thing with Quantumania, going back to Quantumania, what was that? Who was that for? That was based off of nothing. And again, Caleb walked in the room and he goes, "It's no Star Wars." And I was like, "That's a great point. It's trying to be something it's not." And that budget for that movie was the most they've ever spent on a non-Avengers movie.
Wow.
It does sort of feel like a bit of a money laundering thing at this point, with kind of like the way, like Madam Web
so poorly
clearly funded human trafficking in Honduras. Like, I just let's get on record right now. Is kind of saying that.
All right, Last thing I want to present to you guys. Silver Surfer. Why was there a female Silver Surfer? Do I have an answer to that? Not really. What I can tell you about Silver Surfer, they introduced him in one of the previous Fantastic Four movies. That version is the version that's in the comic with the guy named Norrin Radd. Something they did, though, that was kind of cool is they used some of Silver Surfer's backstory to flesh out what happened in this Fantastic Four movie. Except it just happened to the Fantastic Four instead of Silver Surfer, although their stories kind of overlap. So, like I mentioned before, this guy John Byrne, he's one of the reasons I got back into like reading like the old Marvel comics, and it's just because his artwork, his stories are all right. He's an okay writer, but his artwork is just fucking phenomenal. This is a Jim Lee picture of Galactus and Silver Surfer.
That's cool.
Yeah. But
Silver Surfer, I think, is unquestionably one of the coolest comic book designs in just like the history of the medium. Galactus is somehow also one of the coolest, but also somehow like one of the dorkiest at the same time, because it's like kind of, you know, Jack Kirby was like, let me do a steampunk Aztec god that's also the color of an Easter egg, and somehow just was able to synthesize all of that.
So this is a picture here by John Byrne of Galactus. And you can see he's much bigger. He's got fucking pants. You know, it's space is cold. Okay, he wears shorts in space.
He's still wearing the skirt.
Yeah, but you know, there's leggings. He's not.
He's got leggings. Yeah,
he's a compromise.
He's not free balling the power cosmic.
I mean, he can't dress the same way all the time. They'll catch on pretty quickly.
There we go.
So what this depicts here is Norrin Radd, who became the Silver Surfer. He was from the planet Zenla. They had the same thing happen to them. There was the coming of Galactus. Apparently, Zenla was a peaceful planet, so they didn't have weapons or means to fight back. Norrin Radd, on his own, went and got a ship. He flew out to Galactus' ship, where he got pulled in by a ray. He met with Galactus, and then he pretty much just said, look, if you let my planet go, I'll sacrifice myself. And I can help you, find planets for you that you can consume.
The same story that they give kind of Julia Garner's character, like in the movie itself.
Yeah, so they make a deal right there. Something you should be aware is by making this deal, he has to leave behind the love of his life, Shalabal.
Shalabal, who actually has a famous rapper cousin, Shalabal. So it's way too late in the episode for me to kind of drop that. I told you you're going to fucking laugh. You're going to be mad at me, but you're going to fucking laugh at that one.
I wouldn't, if you didn't do it with the accent, I wouldn't laugh. Shalabal, man, Shalabal. If you were like, you're like Shauna Paul, I would have been like,
song, technically.
No, it wasn't me.
It means like short, writing it down.
Yeah, I know. Leave it in.
I'm gonna make a remix of it. Shalabal, ball, Shalabal, ball.
Shalabal. The one thing that we never talked about, which I'll leave you guys with this. Do you guys remember Reed's device in the movie called the bridge? It's where he uses to teleport the egg, or he's going to teleport Earth to like another part of the universe.
A thing I really love about the movie that does speak to that 60s comic book goofiness of like, Reed is like, okay, I got a plan. Instead of giving up this baby, we're going to teleport the whole Earth millions of light years away. I found another solar system. People are going to have to stop running their dishwashers at night to power this thing. But otherwise we got it all figured out.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. The bridge was actually from a recent run from like 2015. It was John Hickman's run. That's the one that we talked about, I think. It's like after they have like it's similar to the movies. They have the Avengers Civil War. Then they have like the Skrull invasion that happened where all the Skrull were impersonating people. Reed is just like, you know what? I need to find a way to figure out how to prevent any of this stuff from happening. Right. So he creates something called the bridge, which is kind of like a way that it allows him to observe parallel worlds. And what he does is using this device, he actually finds a way. He walks through, he creates a portal. He goes inside and it brings him to a place between universes where he meets all the other Reeds from all like the other, you know,
and for anybody else, this is literally where Rick and Morty got the original ideas of the show from.
Exactly.
It actually started.
It was at the council of
yeah. Originally it was the Council of
the
Reeds.
Yeah. And so, it was the Council of the Reeds. And so it's cool because then all the Reeds will keep meeting and saying, hey, I have this shit going on my planet. All my people are starving. What do I do? And they're like, okay, we're going to bring crops and seeds and stuff like that from our universe and bring it to your universe to save your universe. Okay, now what are you going to do to save mine? Well, we have a Galactus. Let's all get together and fucking kill him. So they kill another universe's Galactus and they just bury him under New York City. It's
very similar to like in Across the Spider-Verse, the Spider Society that's sort of depicted about like the movie.
Yep. So they have the bridge. The bridge is introduced though in this movie, Fantastic Four: First Steps, and it's used to transport things. But I think it's a great thing to think about because how are they going to bring this into the MCU?
Not exactly like a spoiler, but for like those who didn't see Thunderbolts, which is I think is everyone else like on the panel.
I didn't see it.
No one else. The post-credit scene is the Thunderbolts. They're hanging out the new headquarters. They get an alert that something has just entered Earth's atmosphere from another dimension. They look through the video screen, and it's the Fantastic Four spaceship. And that's actually
really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the multiverse is going to come into play and things because the end credits of Fantastic Four, you had Doctor Doom, and it's like, all right, he just appears out of nowhere. But there was, you guys can help me answer this. In the first Fantastic Four movie, the Jessica Alba one, it was 5 of them that went up, and then Doctor Doom is the one that ended up coming back. He turned into Doctor Doom with all that. But in this one, there was no 5th member going up, and
no, the conceit about like Doom being like the 5th member of the crew was just for those original Fox movies. That has no history in the comic book itself.
In the comics, yeah.
Doom eventually kind of went from sort of like the Omega level sort of villain threat of the Fantastic Four to kind of a weird, funny dude who's mostly just obsessed with trolling Reed to like such an extent that like at one point Sue, when she is pregnant with their second kid, they ended up in a situation where Sue is basically going to die. Doom saves her life, but before Doom saves her life, he says to Reed, "This child will be my this will be my godchild if I like Reed to kind of do these things." And like Reed agrees to it to save his wife, to save the life of his wife and the baby. Sue gives birth to a daughter. Doom gets to name the daughter. He names it Valeria for his deceased mother, who I think may or may not be like a ghost that sort of visits him like constantly. But then like the show kind of goes, the comic run kind of goes forward from there. Is that Valeria, as she gets older, is really, really into being Dr. Doom's godchild, and she's also always coming over to visit him, and they actually have like a kind of really kind of fun kind of just uncle and niece like relationship, and it's the kind of thing that Doom just constantly rubs in kind of Reed's face. Is like, no matter how smart you are, no matter how talented you were, I was the one who had to save like the life of your wife and child, and now she's more my kid than yours actually. So all that could be stuff that they kind of deal with like in the next movie. It's going to be interesting to see. Like end of the day, I love this shit so much. I love seeing what they can get done, how well they can do it, and what weird stuff can kind of like sort of slip through from time to time. So let's kind of wind down there. Like any sort of like sort of finishing thoughts, or do you want to kind of move into what we're doing next week?
Yeah, I've got nothing else to add.
Yeah, I think we covered it.
Sweet. All right. Next week, new cycle, top of the queue. Our thematic film cycle where we basically revisit on the streaming service we've had things that we've been meaning to watch for a long time and just have not gotten around to. We are starting with Andy's pick. I think about half the panel has seen it, myself and Naveen, but Ryan Coogler's spring of 2025, to my mind, fucking masterpiece. Sinners. Andy, do you want to say like a few words about your choice before we wrap up?
I have heard nothing but good things about this movie. And I've been it's weird. I've been dying to see it and also have never actually found the opportunity to watch it. So I'm really excited for this one. I can't wait to watch this movie.
Yeah. This is my number 2 of the year, behind just behind like Hundreds of Beavers. I saw it twice in theaters. Horror's had an astonishing kind of year this year, and like the fact it's not just the best horror movie I've seen this year, it is also like the best musical that I've seen this year. And everybody here, being guitar players, being music fans, all the rest of this, like I am really, really excited for like this conversation next week. So let's kind of wrap it up. That Rebels Without a Pod, episode 65, gentlemen. Pleasure as always. Talk to everybody in a bit.
Bye, guys.
All right, see you
Hey,
later.
Johnny, say it. Say it. Say the
Not a
phrase.
ball.
Say it.
Ding dong.
It's clobbering time.
Thank
It's
you.
Newton time. That's
Wait,
what it
do we have to end? Yeah, that was the one actually.
Right.
Do we have to end doing the Fantastic Four
is. Okay.
song?
I think the music teacher should lead us. Should
go.
conduct us into it.
All right. Yeah.
He's like, oh shit, that's me.
And a 1 and a 2.
And the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Fantastic.
I don't know the song, man.
I don't either.
Yeah.
It's from the movie. Come on.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
I saw it a while ago.
You're not sorry. You're not.
Andy is so tired.
Yeah, I could be asleep right now for sure.
Fantastic 2.
Talk to everyone soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Later.